The skills of quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing are largely expected in the academic environment of a North American culture. Often international students have difficulty explaining in their own words what the expert has stated. This course will examine different strategies needed in order to teach these skills. In this course, we will discuss the definition of plagiarism, the definition and explanation of quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing, competencies needed in order to learn these skills, and lastly, some strategies that we can incorporate in order to teach paraphrasing and summarizing. There are cultural differences that come into play when discussing the topic of knowledge and the knower. In North America, knowledge is seen as something that can be owned or possessed. And because I own the knowledge, when a student uses my words, those words must be attributed to me. In other cultures, knowledge is shared, and the use of it does not need to be acknowledged. In some cultures, there is a difference between the knower and the not knower. The knower, or in the education system, the teacher is often put on a pedestal. There is a big gap between the teacher and the students. The teacher shares the knowledge with the students. The students feel that they cannot add anything more to the teacher's knowledge because the teacher is seen as the expert. In North America, the teacher is not put on a pedestal. The teacher's knowledge can be changed, challenged, or even discarded because they are not seen as the expert. If a student chooses to use the ideas or the exact words from a teacher, book, or journal, those words must be referenced properly. In North America, students are expected to present original ideas or concepts, but provide credibility to their ideas by referencing other people's work. International students coming to study in a North American education system often find it difficult to put the expert's ideas into their own words. In fact, they may even say, "I cannot say it better than the expert." Whether or not the international student likes the different education system, they must learn to adapt in order to succeed. Plagiarism occurs when a student takes someone else's exact words or ideas and passes them off as his or her own, or does not give proper citation or reference to the originator of the idea. In North American colleges and universities, this is seen as a serious infraction and severe consequences can result. At the very least, a mark of 0 on the paper is warranted. But with more than one infraction, suspension or expulsion from the institution can take place. In order to avoid this, a student must present his or her own ideas using the skills of quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. What is quoting? Quoting is necessary when the words that you use in the paper are identical to the source, word for word. You will need to show that you are using someone else's words by the use of quotation marks, or for longer texts, you will use the quotation and set it in a different margin of your paper. You will need to use direct quotations to provide credibility to your work. There are many citation systems, and each post-secondary institution has their own citation system that they prefer to use. What is paraphrasing? This is when you're restating someone else's ideas in your own words. Because the ideas are not your own, you must give reference to the work you are paraphrasing. The main ideas and key points are stated in your own words, but they must progress in the order of the original work. What is summarizing? This is when you take the general idea or break down larger ideas and give the gist in your own words. The summary is shorter than the original. You take the bare essentials of the original document and give only the main ideas and key points that are worth remembering. The best comparison is a movie trailer. The movie itself may be 90 minutes long, but the movie trailer enticing viewers to watch the movie may only be 90 seconds. This, in essence, is a summary. Next, we will take a look at the competencies needed in order to effectively paraphrase and summarize. Extracting the main idea. The main idea is the nugget, or the most important concept of the reading or listening task. The main idea uses few words. Beyond the main idea are the bare essentials. These are the key points that need to be remembered or are worth noting. Getting to the key points. These are points that support the main idea that are worth remembering. Unimportant details, opinions expressed by the author, examples, or anecdotes are not included in the key points. You only want to add supporting details that add to the main idea. Synonyms. A synonym is a word that is similar in meaning to another word. In order to rephrase a sentence in your own words, you must be able to replace the original words with synonyms. Take a look at the list of words on the following slide. Can you come up with at least 3 synonyms for each word? Ill. You may have come up with the words sick, unhealthy, afflicted. Shut. You may have come up with close, fasten, or seal. Round. You may have come up with circular, spherical, bulbous. Quick. You may have come up with rapid, fast, or speedy. Impolite. You may have come up with rude, abrupt, or ill-mannered. Expensive. You may have come up with costly, exorbitant, pricey. Furious. You may have come up with angry, enraged, irate. Recommend. You may have come up with suggest, advise, propose. Ban. You may have come up with forbid, deny, prevent. Annoy. You may have come up with irritate, exasperate, aggravate. A thesaurus is a dictionary that lists synonyms for words. An important activity for your students would be to become familiar with the structure of a thesaurus as well as how to use it. We have looked at extracting the main idea, getting to the key points, and synonyms. For each of these competencies, take a moment and decide whether it would be for paraphrasing, summarizing, or both. Extracting the main idea. Both. Getting to the key points. Summarizing. Synonyms. Paraphrasing. Now let's take a look at some strategies and activities that you can use in order to help your students develop the skills of paraphrasing and summarizing. Note, not all of these activities will make use of academic texts. Graphic organizers. These are visual cues to help organize your thoughts in order to create a summary of a listening or reading text. These are useful tools because they force your students to get the bare essentials and write them on the graphic organizer in as few words as possible. Examples of graphic organizers are word or idea maps, timelines, charts, and Venn diagrams. An example activity would be to have the class watch a 30-minute TV show. Place the students into groups and give them a graphic organizer. On that, in as few words as possible, they will indicate the main characters as well as the plot. Only looking at the graphic organizer, students will write a paragraph in full sentences summarizing the main idea of the TV show. Extracting important information. Make copies of an advertisement for an event and hand them out to the students. The wordier the advertisement, the better. Have the students scan the advertisement for details and ask them questions. The responses to the questions generally result in answers to the WH questions. Ask students the purpose of the event, the date of the event, the location of the event, the people that might attend the event, and the cost of the event. Students will now create one sentence containing the bare essentials of the invitation. For example, a free carnival for young families is happening at the library on May 10th from 2 to 5 p.m. A similar activity would be to read a children's story aloud that the students are familiar with. By specifically asking WH questions, you will be able to get the main idea and key supporting points to the story. Jigsaw reading. For lengthier texts, divide up the reading into logical sections. Divide up your students into groups. Assign one section for each group. As a group, they will look at their section and underline main ideas and key points. They will then write them in point form on the board. Now the board is divided up into sections with the key points written for each section of reading. The group will choose another section, one that they haven't worked on before, and choose a scribe. That scribe, along with the help of the group and without looking at the reading, will write a paragraph in full sentences using the main points in order to summarize that section of reading. Margin notes. Students make notes of important information or main ideas in the margins of the text. Students will use these notes as the basis for a text summary. Summary cube. Make a cube and have 6 main ideas, 1 idea written on each side of the cube. Place the students into groups with their cube, and the students will roll the cube. The main idea that comes up, the student will now have to add a supporting detail. This is a great way to review for a test. Picture paraphrase. Have the students bring in a few pictures from their recent vacation, from their family, or from their hometown. Divide the students up into groups of 3. Student A will tell Student B about his pictures. Student B will paraphrase to Student C about Student A's pictures. Student C will now summarize the picture with a caption. When that is finished, you can rotate roles so that each student will have an opportunity to tell about their pictures. In this course, we have discussed the skills of quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing, as well as activities that we can use in order to teach these skills. When correctly using the skills of quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing, students will be able to present their own ideas in accordance with the standards of the educational institutions of North America.